What's going on, guys? Welcome back to review and discussion for UnOrdinary, episode 283. This episode starts on a pretty high note, honestly. It starts off on a pretty crazy note, all things considered. So, episode starts out with Orin meeting with Agent 23 and the female agent who was also with Agent 23 at Loven Prison. And he has brought them to him to present them with ability converters. As the female agent brings up to herself and mentions they will allow them to manipulate their aura channel and access different abilities. So, pretty crazy game changer that it was able to happen so quick. It's even mentioned that they thought that the experiments were going to be put on hold, but Orin then brings up that thanks to the information that Spectre retrieved from Next Gen, they were able to finally reproduce it. And this did get me thinking that if they were able to do this, Doc probably isn't too involved with Spectre. He might still be on that hiatus. I still think it's likely, based on the context of what Terrence was talking about at Rowden Hill, that Doc is the one who helped develop the dampener negator. But yeah, it seems like, Spectre also has a fair bit of scientists who are able to help them out even without Doc. So, now, an interesting thing. There are 6 vials that he shows them out of 10 that are filled up. So, only 6 of the 10 are filled up. So, he then brings them to Melvin, the guy who got killed by Rain in the other high tier. He brings up that they're using his ability as a test. But, like I said, there's 6 vials, and 2 of them, now clearly 2 of them are Melvin's, because he, one for Agent 23 and one for the girls, so that way they can access his ability. So I'm thinking, is it possible that the other 4, 2 of them belong to Rain and 2 of them belong to the other guy? Now, again, like I brought up in my reaction, I really hope that Uru didn't just kill off Rain, because that would be really disappointing. Honestly, that would be very disappointing. The fans wanted her back for so long, and then Uru just goodbye. Anyway, I don't know what that was, but he wants them to be the first to experience the power of the ability converters, and he even brings up that they are the 2 best candidates that they have. So I'm still saying these guys are probably stronger than Arlo. But yeah, so that's it for that. The next scene then is Sarah and John getting ready for bed, and Sarah just has the bed, and John's just on the floor. Sarah even offers to give John let John share the bed. I mean, it is his bed after all. But John mentions that he does have nightmares when he sleeps. We've seen that before. It does still affect him now, and he doesn't want to hit her by mistake. And then Sarah does wonder to herself if it's because of Keon. John then begins to reflect on the last few months, thinking how much they've been through. He even mentions how his biggest worry at going to school used to be getting a slice of the cake, and now he has to worry about being murdered. And he begins thinking on how much things have changed. He even asks Sarah how she can't be so worried, and she tells him that of course she is worried. That a lot of things can go wrong and she can mess up, and they could really get hurt. But she also tells them that she's as prepared as she can be for what's next, and she can't worry about everything else right now. And then John just smiles and says, trying to hide from these psychos has been pretty shitty, but hey, I'm glad I get to do it with you. And again, like I brought up in the reaction, this was a really endearing scene. For as messed up as their current situation is, John's right. It's nice that they get to do it together. It's nice to see them together. We wanted them to just be normal friends again, just go shopping and hanging out, going to Woboboba and stuff, running Wellston. But, that's not happening. That's not what they have to worry about right now. They have to take down a terrorist organization together and, destroy it from the inside. But they get to do it together. They get to spend time together. We get to see them spend time together, and we get to see them have each other's backs again. And yeah, like I said, for as messed up as their situation is, it is nice that, you know, the two of them are back together again. So, yeah. In the morning. So, next part is in the morning, Blake briefly walks in on Sarah brushing her teeth. It's a pretty funny scene. It's kind of a callback to, you know, earlier in the series when Blake and John had their bathroom shenanigans. And then next scene, we see him walking with Ison talking about Sarah staying with them. Ison asks what the situation is, if Sarah's going to be there permanently and if something's going on or if they have some sort of plan. But Blake kind of just brushes off like, I have no idea, honestly. And he doesn't really want to know because Blake's a bit of a chattermouth. We know that Blake does have their back based on the last episode. So maybe this also was just Blake trying to cover up, just like, I don't know. But he did offer them, hey, if you need help kick Inspector's ass, I'm in. So, yeah. And also maybe they just haven't told him much about anything yet. But, yeah, that was that. The episode ends off with John wanting to show something to Sarah as they're walking down the hall. And as they're walking, John hears some of the students talking about the Safe House self-defense classes. And, yeah, there's a lot of interest among the students for that. I don't know if everyone knows that John's going to be the one teaching it yet, but who knows. So, John then takes Sarah to a shed thing. I forget exactly what it was called, but he takes her to the room where the defense classes have been set up and all the equipment is there now. And he gets really excited to set everything up. And yeah, John, it's kind of like what Sarah brought up in their discussion when William was there, when William was helping them train, that John's finally seems like himself again. He finally seems happy. He seems excited about something. And we see that firsthand with John, like, being excited to set everything up for the self-defense classes and get everything ready. And yeah, once again, just really endearing stuff to see. But that's not all. That's where the episode ends. We just see Sarah looking at John setting everything up, smiling. But Uru shared something for us. And that's something I'm going to show right now. Now, honestly, guys, this isn't much. This is close to nothing, all things considered. But Uru posted on Twitter earlier today, random screenshot from episode 284 that I really like. That's it. So I think this is pretty clear that John is going to see something while they're setting things up at the self-defense at the room. I don't know. Is he going to see something? Is something? This is most likely like, you know, him unboxing something. But yeah, that was just cool to see. Honestly, not really much else there. So, what would I give this episode? Honestly, this episode is nice to read. It's a very nice read, you know, as simple as it is. But also, this episode has the benefit of that big reveal at the beginning with Agent 23 and Oren and the girl. So I would honestly give this episode an 8.5. No, an 8. It's a really good episode, and fuck it, 8.5. It's a really good episode, and that drop at the beginning of all things is really, really cool. And also really terrifying to think about what's going to be happening next. But yeah. So, that's going to be it for this review and discussion, guys. Let me know what you all thought about the episode down in the comments below. And as always, see you, Space Cowboy.